Right? If you're gearing up for your higher English exam, you know that really getting inside a poem's deeper meaning is the absolute key to grabbing those top marks. In this explainer, we're going to do just that with Caroline Duffy's incredible poem, Before You Were Mine. So let's start with a question, just to get you in the right headspace. Who was your mother before she was your mother? I mean, what was her life really like? What were her dreams? Who were her friends? This is the very question that Duffy puts right at the heart of this poem. Here's our game plan. First up, we're going to do an immersive reading of the poem to really get a feel for its world. Then, we'll unpack the big central theme. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of Duffy's language, and we'll wrap up with some solid, practical tips to help you absolutely ace that exam. Okay, let's start our journey into the past. You know, the best way to really feel a poem is to hear it read aloud. So I'm going to read it in full now. Just let the words and these images take you back to 1950s Scotland. I'm 10 years away from the corner you laugh on with your pals, Maggie McGeaney and Jean Duff. The three of you bend from the waist, holding each other, or your knees and shriek at the pavement. Your polka dot dress blows round your legs. Maryland. I'm not here yet. The thought of me doesn't occur in the ballroom with the thousand eyes, the fizzy movie tomorrows the right walk home could bring. I knew you would dance like that. Before you were mine, your ma stands at the close with a hiding for the late one. You reckon it's worth it? The decade ahead of my loud, possessive yell was the best one, eh? I remember my hands in those high-heeled red shoes, relics. And now your ghost clatters toward me over George Square, clear as scent, under the tree with its lights, and whose small bites on your neck, sweetheart? Cha-cha-cha, you'd teach me the steps on the way home from Mass, stamping stars from the wrong pavement. Even then I wanted the bold girl winking in Portobello, somewhere in Scotland before I was born. That glamorous love lasts where you sparkle and waltz and laugh before you were mine. Just beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so what is this poem really about? Let's get to the heart of it. It all boils down to one powerful, central idea, this clash between who a woman is as a person, her selfhood, and who she becomes as a mother. What Duffy's really getting at here is this kind of grief. Yeah, the speaker, she's looking back, and there's so much love, but also a little bit of sadness, right? Sadness for this vibrant, free woman her mom used to be. She gets that becoming a mother meant a huge sacrifice, the sacrifice of that former self. And wow, Duffy lays this transformation out so clearly, doesn't she? Just look at the before. You've got this life of total freedom, laughing with friends, dreaming of fizzy movie tomorrows, and then you get the after. Suddenly, there's a daughter's possessive yell, those amazing dancing shoes, they're now just relics for a kid to play with. And the very woman who used to defy her own ma, while she becomes the ma. It's a massive shift. Okay, so we know what the theme is, but for those top marks, you need to explain how Duffy builds it, and that means getting right into her specific word choices. So let's model exactly how to do that. We'll take 3 brilliant examples. Let's kick off with what is, let's be honest, probably the most famous line in the whole poem. See, the speaker isn't just talking about a dress. She's dropping a bombshell with that one final word. So, let's break it down. What's the technique? Well, it's an allusion, obviously, to Marilyn Monroe, but it's also a one-word sentence, which gives it so much punch. And this is just genius, because it instantly unpacks at least 3 huge connotations. First, it screams 1950s glamour and beauty, right? Second, it makes her mother seem like this icon, almost a legend. And third, it hints at this life of fame, of endless possibilities, a life she could have had. All right, next up, this line comes from the speaker's own memory, and it is packed with meaning. We're going to zero in on that killer final word. I mean, the word choice here, relics, is just perfect. So what does it make you think of? Well, first, it suggests something ancient and precious, something you'd find in a museum. Second, it's like an artifact from a lost civilization. And what's that lost civilization? Her mother's youth. And third, it tells us the shoes don't have a practical use anymore. They're not for dancing, they're just memories. And for our last example, this line. It's such a bittersweet picture, isn't it? The mother is still dancing, she's still got that magic, but the world around her has changed. Something's not quite right. So the technique here is a metaphor, but it's also a really clever nod to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That phrase, wrong pavement, is so powerful.
It suggests, 1, that she absolutely deserved to be on the right pavement, the one in Hollywood. 2, it says that all her talent, all her sparkle, it's in the wrong place, this ordinary setting. And 3, it really points to a life of unfulfilled potential, a dream that motherhood just, well, it made it impossible.
Right, so you've got all this amazing analysis. But the big question is, how do you actually turn it into top marks in the exam hall? Well, this last section is your practical toolkit. Let's get into it.
I've got 4 simple but super effective steps for you. First, make flashcards. Quote on the front, analysis on the back. Simple. 2, use bullet points in your essays. It makes your structure super clear for the examiner. 3, keep your quotes short and snappy. Relics on its own has more impact than the whole line. And 4, remember the magic number 3. For every piece of evidence, try to dig out 3 possible meanings or connotations. It really shows you're thinking deeply. Okay, look, if you're feeling the pressure and you're short on time, just focus on these 3 quotes. Seriously, they are absolutely loaded with techniques and connotations, and they all tie perfectly back to that central theme. Learn them inside out, along with the analysis we just covered.
And this is the most important takeaway. The crucial point is this. It's not enough to just spot a metaphor or a one-word sentence. You have to explain how that technique explores the poem's big idea. The theme of lost identity and the sacrifice of motherhood. Always link your analysis back to the main theme. So let's just end on this thought. This whole poem is about bringing a lost, sparkling past back to life. It's beautiful. So the question I want to leave you with is, how does the past sparkle in your own life? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.